What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to properly disassemble and reassemble the Cyclone Feed system for your Tippmann marker. It's exclusive to Tippmann markers. I have it on the Project Salvo, and if you do get a ball break, which is not common, but if you do, you want to be able to take it apart completely. I mean every last screw, so you can clean it out to its fullest. A lot of people are afraid if they take pieces out, they're not going to know how to put it back together, and then they're going to be stuck with a disassembled loader. But I already disconnected it from the marker itself, which was just this little nut here that took the middle size Allen key. I don't know exactly what size it is, but it's the middle of the two that the marker gives you. So we're just going to set those off to the side, and I'm going to go about disassembling this, and then I will show you how to put it back together, but I'm just going to speed through the disassembly, talk about what's in it, how to clean it, and then we'll move from there. Okay, so our Cyclone Feed system is completely disassembled now, and there's not a whole ton of parts to it. It's actually a pretty simple internal design. Basically, in case you were wondering how the whole system operates, you have this little piece here, which sits, as you saw, in the middle. And whatever pressure from your CO2 tank pushes this, it spins the fins. And to stop this system from pushing back, you have this little metal pin. Now this works exactly the same way a ratchet wrench works. For any of you mechanics who have ever used those, it's the exact same system. So when it comes to cleaning, basically, and this was after a 5-hour day of paintballing, this is how dirty it got. It is extremely clean. I don't think I had any ball breaks. But so I'm just gonna run everything over here. I brought with me a paper towel, so I'm just gonna quickly speed through and clean everything out. Starting with the base of our Cyclone Feed here. I don't know why I tend not to use water. It's just not really my thing. A lot of people will clean, they'll run water through the inside of their barrels and whatnot, and I just feel like water is not a good mixture. I like to just use dry cleaning tools such as rags, or in this case, my rags were dirty. I didn't wash them from the last time I used my other marker, so I just went to paper towels. But I'm in awe. This is extremely clean. This is one of the biggest reasons you should get this system if you have a Tippmann marker. Okay, so we are going to put this back together now. So there are a few key components here. The way this whole thing folds together, it can be a little tedious because the entire system is under pressure with the way this spring sits, with the way the pin is carefully holding this system from spinning out. So if you're a little too rough with it, it can take a couple tries of getting it together, because everything will just decide to pop out of the housing here, out of the back side of it, and then you have to start all over. So let's focus on actually putting it together now. You want this piece here. Now there are a few important features to notice about this piece. For example, I don't know how well you can see the top of it. It's got a little edge on it. I don't know if you can see it. It's flat on one side. It looks circular, but there is a flat end to it, and that is very important when it comes to putting the fins on. So what we're going to do now, let's get some of these other pieces out of the way so we can just focus on what's important here. Okay, we're going to take it, we're going to cock it a little bit like an L shape, just like that. We're going to set it inside. This little piece here though, this little piece, you have to pull back as you put it in, and it will sit in a little groove like that. As you can see, it already doesn't want to stay in. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the housing, which is actually the one thing I did not give a quick clean down, but that's on the exterior, so that shouldn't be too bad. The housing with the bolt hole on top that puts air into the system goes right over. And here's where things get a little tricky. You have to hold this little spring-loaded piece back, and you have to wedge it into the groove inside here. So this requires a bit of multitasking. So you put this end through the hole, and you keep the one end held back with your finger, and there, it will slide directly into place. You can hold it with this one finger down. That's all I'm going to do with it, and they're both in there now. If you can see, they're in there nice and safe. They won't be going anywhere as long as you keep it held down. Next, I'm going to take the nut here. This is what allows the Cyclone system to stay attached to your gun. This is what came off the outside. Do not forget to put this right in its slot there. It has its own little home right inside there, because then you'll go to put this on the gun or the marker, and then it won't attach, and you'll be very confused why. Okay, most important feature is your little pin. You take the flat side of your pin, and there is a very small groove next to one of your little screw slots. Your pin will sit in that groove and snugly in between one of the little ratchet spots. So it will sit together just like that. Now here's where it gets tricky. Now you have to keep this whole system in while securely putting your top on. I usually start over here. I keep my pointer finger held in as long as I can, and carefully hold it down. Now it's held down. It's just a matter of taking each individual screw and putting them back in their original holes. Okay, all of our screws now are in place. And just be careful you do not strip them. They're little screws, so don't go at them too tough. Now, if you remember, I talked about how this little centerpiece wasn't actually circled. There's actually a flat side to it. Well, that comes into play when putting your little spinners here in. So if you notice on the spinners, there are 3 different sectioned tabs there on top, and there are 3 tabs on the bottom of the other one. Simply fit the 2 together so they sit like this, and then find your flat end of the little column in the middle, and then that will sit in nice and snug like that. Then take our final screw, and we are going to screw this guy in. Being nice and gentle. You might want to stick your thumb in the opening as I'm doing here, because the system will want to spin as you turn it. And then you have completely disassembled, cleaned, and reassembled your cyclone system, the check to make sure everything works, I'm sure you're aware, take your little button here and just give it a couple spins. And everything is working smooth, so we didn't put anything in wrong. As long as you didn't forget to put your nut in there, everything is going to be all set. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you like it, and I will be sure to put out more videos. Thank you very much.